In this podcast episode, Ben Shapiro discusses the announcement made by Mitch McConnell that he will be stepping down from his position as GOP leader in the fall. McConnell stated that serving in the Senate has been the honor of his life, but it is time to move on to the next chapter. This decision has sparked a debate within the Republican Party about who will replace McConnell as the Senate Majority Leader. Shapiro highlights the importance of McConnell's role as a political operator, noting that McConnell played a key role in appointing a majority of Republican judges to the Supreme Court. He emphasizes that McConnell's effectiveness in counting votes, raising money, and making strategic decisions has been crucial for the Republican Party's success in the Senate. 3 candidates are currently being considered to replace McConnell: John Thune, John Barrasso, and John Cornyn. Shapiro also delves into the concept of Trumpism and how it relates to the current political landscape. He distinguishes between rhetorical Trump and policy Trump, highlighting that Trump's rhetoric may be more extreme than his actual policy positions. He argues that Trump's policy positions are more moderate than his rhetoric suggests, making him a potentially appealing candidate for moderate voters. Shapiro points out that Trump's positions on issues such as inflation and immigration are closer to the middle ground than those of Joe Biden. He highlights Trump's stance on fiscal responsibility and border security as examples of his moderate policy positions. Shapiro suggests that Trump's ability to appeal to moderate voters could give him an advantage in future elections. Shapiro highlights how the actions and statements of other politicians can impact how people perceive a presidential candidate. He gives the example of a Senate candidate in Missouri affecting the presidential election based on his statements. Shapiro also mentions the mayor of Athens, Georgia, who blamed Trump for a murder committed by an illegal immigrant, which he believes will not resonate well with the public. Shapiro delves into various key issues such as immigration, jobs and the economy, climate change, national security, education, crime, and abortion. He argues that Biden has taken more extreme positions on these issues, while Trump's positions align more closely with the median voter in the United States. On immigration, Shapiro points out that Trump's stance on securing borders and controlling illegal immigration resonates with many Americans who are concerned about open borders. He contrasts this with Biden's rhetoric on the issue. Similarly, Trump's focus on job creation and economic growth is seen as more moderate compared to Biden's economic policies. Shapiro discusses Biden's approach to climate change, which includes phasing out fossil fuels, and contrasts it with Trump's emphasis on drilling and energy independence. He also highlights Biden's approval rating on national security, which is lower due to his vague foreign policy stance, while Trump's strong stance on foreign policy resonates with many Americans. Shapiro criticizes Biden's support for critical race theory in education and his stance on crime, which he believes is influenced by leftist ideologies. He also points out the contrast between Biden's extreme position on abortion, including taxpayer-funded abortion up to birth, and Trump's more moderate stance, which includes supporting a 16-week abortion ban. Shapiro discusses Biden's approach to foreign policy, particularly in relation to Israel and Ukraine, where he believes Biden's positions are not in line with mainstream American views. He also touches on the perception of Biden as corrupt, with many Americans believing that he benefited from his son Hunter Biden's business dealings.